It's understood that Hollywood sells Californication. Pay a surgeon very well to break the spell of aging. Celebrity skin, is this your chin or is that war you're waging? Firstborn in a
Welcome, O wanderers of the wavelength, to the inner sanctum of the Chilluminatti. You didn't find us by accident. You were tuned in. Behind this veil of shadow and signal, we gather, not to follow, but to question. So light your candle and lean back 33 degrees. Close the blinds and forget what they told you was real.
You can't go on, and your wheels sinking low. Just looking down the barrel of a hot metal 45, just another way to survive. California, rest in peace, simultaneous release. California, show your teeth. She's my priestess from your
Saturday night, Chilluminatti. Rock and Rio. Are you there? I am here. Out there.
Is there anybody in there?
Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone home?
Saturday night now.
Is there anyone home?
I don't think so. The lights are on.
I got a feeling now.
The lights are on, but nobody's home, Rock and Rio.
Well, that seemed to be more appropriate last night.
It's the never-ending saga
I'm telling you.
of Into the Microcosm.
We are our own microcosm.
We're a microcosm of ourselves.
I know, it's pretty weird, isn't it?
It is weird. Well, hey, it's Ground Zero Plus. We're here. Be here now. Your lips are moving, but I can't hear what you're saying. All right. There goes Pink Floyd. All right, well, the chat room's filling up nicely. What's up, Chris? Chris sent us an image. I'll have to look over there and see what it is. So, hey, welcome back, everybody. And it's good to see you. You made it. Now, Rock and Rio, have you been in the lab all day?
I have been in lab for quite a while, yes.
Grinding it out. What's up, Cac?
Yes, so we will be doing the Beatles, not as the Beatles, tonight.
Interesting. No, this is a concept whose time has come. Now, why don't you tell everybody what you're going to be doing here while I go over here to Teams and check out, see what Chris sent over here. Go ahead.
So, this came in as a request. Somebody had asked for one of the songs I've got on tonight's schedule to do in reverse. And so we put up that we'll do each one of the individual Beatles after the Beatles. You know, John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Well,
Yeah.
John, not Paul, because, you know, Paul's dead. But, you know, we'll do Willie Campbell with Wings when we get that far. But, yeah, so we're going to do a little bit of reverse from each of the 4 members of the Beatles from the 70s, 80s, and actually I think the Ringo one is early 90s. But, yeah, so to just show you that the evil continued on after the Beatles broke up. And, you know, and it's not doing Donald Trump again, which, you know, is kind of a relief. Although he's got a lot of material that we could go through, too. But, you know, kind of getting sick of doing Donald.
Yeah. I can feel your pain, considering 8 years of it, and now another 2 more years, 4 more
Well,
years.
actually, you got to figure it's not 8 years. It's been 12 because he was yapping off the whole time Biden was president, too.
I was including that in the 8 years.
Well, oh, yeah. Well, I guess it would be only 9 years, right?
Yeah.
But,
Yes, indeed. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Last night, again, one of these issues is continuing on and on ad infinitum.
Yes, the derangement is real, my friends.
You seem like you're awful loud with a bunch of background shit going on over there.
Am I?
Yeah.
I might be turned up a little bit here. Yeah. Is that better? That a little better?
Yeah, it's getting there.
So, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't want to get into those topics tonight.
I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm trying to deal with a bunch of issues over here.
Yeah, I see that on the camera.
You see it?
Well, I see you
Yeah.
looking
Fiddling
in
around.
weird directions and dealing with things.
Yeah, man. It's always something.
I'm telling you.
No, see, so there was a fucking skunk attack here yesterday, and it's like some skunks were trying to find a place to chill. Started going under the house, and my mom started stomping on the floor to make them go out. But instead of them going out, they fucking sprayed up under the house.
Oh no! So the whole house smells like skunk now.
Well, yeah, now it's dissipated, but it was bad for a good 12 hours.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, it's either dissipated or you've become acclimated.
So what happened is now the pathways to the under the house have now been blocked, And so that means that when the skunk comes back, trying to go back, try to get up under the house, he ain't gonna be able to. So right before the show, I realized that I better do something about the back gate so it doesn't come walking up here on the porch while I'm doing a show. Because I mean, it has done that before. Not these particular skunks, but skunks in the past. And so I was rushing to get that done and get a chance to get everything together here. So
Is that music coming from you or from me?
no, it's coming from me.
She's well acquainted with the touch of the velvet hand, like a lizard on a window pane. The man in the crowd with the multicolored mirrors on his hobnail boots, lying with his eyes while his hands are busy working overtime. A soap impression of his wife, which he ate and donated to the National Trust. I need a fix, 'cause I'm going down to the bits that I left uptown. I need a fix, 'cause I'm going down. Mother Superior jumped the gun. 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 Happiness is a warm gun. Happiness is a warm gun, mama. When I hold you in my arms and I feel my finger on your trigger, I know.
Wow, we got a caller already, Jimmy.
Do we now?
Yes.
All right then.
I'm not sure who it is, but I will answer it.
Well, go ahead and answer it. We didn't even give out the number yet, but glad we got a call. Uh-oh. Are you there, Rio? I don't hear you anymore. Something happened. My router is going wild. It's going berserk. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Rio's on hold. I didn't put him on hold. I don't know what's going on, man. It says I'm on hold with Rio. So, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I
Says I was
answered,
on
I
hold.
answered it on the wrong computer, so it put you on hold for a second. So he's going to call back in a minute.
All right. So I shaved off my beard, man. I was trying.
did.
I was seeing if I could grow a beard, which I could, but I wasn't feeling it at all. Now I'm back to being the walrus, man.
Yeah, I did notice that.
I am the walrus, cuckoo Jew. What's happening?
Okay, we got 813 back on the line.
All right, hey 813, what's going on? Cuckoo
Hey,
Jew.
buddies. How you doing, everybody?
Doing
Hope you're
good.
having a great night.
Yeah, we are. So far.
Awesome.
So far, so
So
good.
as soon as you said, so last night I really wanted to comment on a few things, but as soon as you mentioned the bells,
Yeah.
I had to call in because I've recently been studying on that stuff.
What did you find out?
The big excuse is why they brought them all down was for the war effort. They needed the brass.
Right.
But you can clearly see in countless photos, one after another, that even after the war, they're just piled up. and were never used at all. And so as far back as my research could go, it apparently that the bells warded off evil spirits. They couldn't stand the sound of the bells.
Yeah, man. Exactly. What do you think that means? Because, it's really funny. Because,
Well, that means that the bad guy's in charge.
yeah, they got rid of the bells.
That's right.
So they could have full reign on Earth.
There you go. There you go.
Of course, man.
There you go.
It's a wild world.
It makes sense with the way things have gone since then.
It does.
South.
It does for sure. Now, where are you calling from?
Tampa, Florida. I've called you before. I've got a little buzz, so you got to excuse me. Just like last time, it was after the World Series, and I was watching playoff football.
Yeah.
So I got a little buzz, but man, when you mentioned that, I had seriously, and there is a resonance that, and those bells were massive. They weren't like little puny,
Now let me ask you a question.
And
now.
they were fine-tuned brass.
Something tells me that there's a show playing on Ground Zero Plus, and we are not going out live because that resonance show has been playing. And were you listening to Ground Zero Plus when you called right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, hey, Rio, the reason he called right now is because we're giving out the number on a show that's playing on Ground Zero Plus, and we're not going out live.
Uh-huh.
So, something's up over there. Chris is listening, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to bore you guys.
No, you're not. No, you're not boring us.
Really got.
No,
Yeah,
man, we
well.
appreciate the call for sure, man. That was a great show we did with that, man. We went through a whole bunch of stuff on there. So what are you doing tonight?
You're talking about last night?
Yeah. So what are you doing tonight, man?
Yeah. Well, and Epic made a comment about, well, that wouldn't hold up in court. These people aren't getting any court, so, and you can forget about that. That when they want to make a move, period, they're going to make the move. And it doesn't matter if the Constitution says so or not.
Well, actually, the difference is that in, I believe, 1992-ish, Bill Clinton had signed into effect a law stating that immigration and potential deportees do not need to undergo any judicial review or court hearing. They can just simply be evicted. And that was Bill Clinton.
He was also the one behind subsidizing the corporate media to 6, 7 from 15 or more.
Yeah.
Right? He was responsible for that too.
Yeah, he was. He did. Was it under Bill Clinton with the whole propaganda thing, or was that earlier? I think that might have been Clinton as well with the decriminalizing the propaganda on the news.
Right. Right. Yeah. Bad guy. Real bad guy. And bad lady too. The one he's married to. Jesus. They're all
I heard
not good people.
They were asking for proof of life on Hillary Clinton right now.
I mean, really? Where's she been?
Yeah, they were asking for it because she was supposed to show up for some testimonies, and they didn't show up.
Yeah, we haven't heard a thing from her in quite some time.
Well, Congress is going to hold them both in contempt, so I think that starts on Tuesday. The trials, the proceedings to hold them both in contempt of Congress, which is subject to immediate imprisonment of at least a minimum of 1 year. So and I believe Hillary wrote them a letter saying we're not showing up because Bill can't handle it or something to that effect. But
the Clinton death list speaks for itself. But we all know that he's a big time candidate, appearance guy on the Epstein list. The old pervert was there all the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, they all are. They all have been. That's the thing.
Sick.
Yeah.
They're all sick. They really have a problem.
Well, see the problem.
And the
see
whole
the
thing
big.
needs to be redone.
The big problem is that we were talking a little bit about it last night, but I didn't really expound on it. But I was saying that all these things that we've been through in our lives, not just these people, these Clintons and all this, each individual person, but we're talking about them for right now. So, but the thing is they did what they did. You know what I mean? And in the end, that is on the hard drive. Everything we do when we're here on this planet, these experiences that we have, it's all registered in our brains. And just because you forgot about it doesn't mean it didn't happen. And lots of people do lots of shit in their lives, just regular folk. Everything, Rio, myself, you. We all have little experiences in our lives.
Everybody screws up. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
But there's a fine line between pure evil and, oops, I made a mistake. Like the Haiti hurricane, the flood thing with the Clintons involved. They get what was it, 6 houses? 6?
Yeah.
8? I think, what, ridiculous. Come on. That's pure evil. There's a fine line between screwing up and being pure evil.
There is. But
damn.
The thing is too, though.
And they're pure evil. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They're gonna pay the tab though. That's the thing. See, we all gotta pay the tab for what we did, even if we forgot about it.
I sleep well at night, but I don't know how those people sleep.
Well,
I really don't.
One day they're going to have to stand before their maker and account for their sins. So, I'm sure there's an extra warm place for those guys.
Oh, man.
It's all stored in
bad news for the Clintons, man.
It's all stored in the cloud, man. Never goes away.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. God has his own cloud.
That's right. There's no question about it. All right.
So I don't want to bore you guys to death, but that's all I really got.
Anything else?
When you said the bells, it just, the whole, I don't know if I believe in the whole Tartaria connection or whatever.
Well,
but there were certainly Jesus did not tell all his disciples that he was going to return in their lifetimes and then wait 2,000 years to come back. The whole millennial reign already happened. I'm a firm believer in that. And the whole Satan's little season, we're living in it. We've been living. It's quite obvious, and so that's the big trick, is to convince everybody, they got a second chance. Jesus can know. He already came back. This is the freaking end of the end times. This is the very end. We're not in the times change. Everything's been changed. It's all, you can literally look it all up. And I'm not falling for this crap anymore. That all of these nations are playing the whole freaking game of the apocalypse, which already happened. This is the very end. This is the wrap up. We don't have any more chances. This is it. And that's the devil's biggest trick, is to convince everybody that they got another chance after this, but they don't. This is it. He already came back. He didn't tell all his disciples he was going to come back in their lifetimes. You can read it. It's right there. He told them he was going to come back in their lifetimes, man. He wasn't going to wait 2,000 years. That's ridiculous. The whole history's been rewritten.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, a lot of the things that I put forward on the show about the Tartaria things, a lot of the ideas.
I haven't heard you talk much about it, so I don't know. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, a lot of the ideas we put forth as suppositions, like years ago. One of the things was I put forward that I didn't think we built the railroads, that they were already here. That instead of them building the railroads, they were uncovering the tracks. And then, this is just conversation we were having one night. You know, weren't really going into it or whatever. I was just putting it forward. And then all of a sudden, I see this fucking video yesterday, and it's literally that. Some dude made a video about how the railroads were uncovered, and he had a shitload of pictures of guys standing there with shovels digging out the tracks from the 1800s.
Dude, I'll give you literally one of the biggest lies ever in history, and it's right there in our faces, and all we got to do is look at it. It's the Great Wall of China. The embattlements are facing south.
Right.
You can literally, on the north side, you could crawl right up and get right in. That means that was the biggest open-air prison camp ever on the planet ever.
Either that,
and that's a history that China wants to hide.
Either
Clearly,
that or
they don't want people to know that. But all the embattlements are facing inwards.
They were keeping
to keep people in.
Or
that's the Great Wall of China. That's the biggest lie, literally. And I could go on and on. And there's so many examples of the literal bullshit. I'm fed up with it all.
Well, there's a different idea about that.
The Great Wall of China is a dead giveaway.
There's
man.
a different idea about
if
that
anybody
wall.
wants to open
is
their
this
eyes,
fucking thing
look
on?
at it.
Hey, is this on, Rio? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There's a different idea about that wall. Because if you look at the old maps, Tartaria borders China. So there's an idea. There's an idea about that wall that it was built to keep out a bunch of red-haired giants. Red-haired giants.
All the embattlements are facing south, my man. South, inwards. They were keeping people in. There's no bones. There's no dead bodies on the north side. If you wanted to go up, right up to, I mean, there's literally several areas where you could go right up the north side and get right in. It's so obvious. That is like, that is the biggest one. And I could go on. There's others, but go ahead. I don't want to interrupt. I'm just...
No, we appreciate you. We appreciate your call, man.
And the evidence on the other side, on the south side, is overwhelming, right? They got bones, they got dead bodies, all of it. It's all in there. Biggest open air prison to ever exist. And of course, China wouldn't want that to be public, you know. And, you know, give them credit, they're not land grabbers. They never have been. They have never invaded. They've never, not once. And the whole thing about Taiwan, I'll just say this one time. Taiwan has never in history been a part of China. Not one time in history ever been a part of China. Granted, it's awfully close and it looks like shit. That's our shit. But no, it's not. And it never has been. So just to clear that part up.
Well, China does.
Hello?
China does claim Taiwan, but Taiwan
but it's
is
not. It
independent.
never has been.
Yeah.
You can look it up throughout history. Taiwan's never been a part of China, ever. Excuse me. So they can claim all they want, and it's strategic, you know, for the war effort, the coming war. Yes, but no. I really was hoping to ask Epic a question about that million-year-old human skull that was found jammed up in the rocks there. Million-year-old skull. 1 million years old. Human skull, not Neanderthal, none of the other sevens that we know of. Human. 1 million years old.
I don't know anything about it myself, so
I wanted to hear what he thought about it. I'm sure
he's not
heard
here
of it.
tonight, so won't be able to get that.
I'm sorry.
Won't be able to get that from him. Anything
He
else,
seems
man?
to have all the freaking answers. So
He doesn't have all the
Thought
answers.
I'd,
He's far from has all the answers, dude. Anyways,
Well,
thanks
he's
for
pretty-
calling. We
he's pretty
appreciate you.
smart.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. All right. Thanks for giving us a call, eh? Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, right. There he goes.
Yeah. So anyhow, 718-618-9905. I guess the phones are open.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Well, it's a good thing you called because that gave me a clue that we were going out weird over there.
Yeah, it is true. I don't see Chris in the chat here, so I don't know.
No, but we're going to start next week. We're going to start just going live directly on Ground Zero Plus. Because this fucking thing just keeps happening over and over again. And even when something play, and whenever anything goes to a replay, it just goes and plays the same show off IBN over and over again. So it's playing that show over and over again, the Bell show. So that's why that guy thought we were talking about bells tonight. I don't know what that is. I just heard a message. All right. Anyways, there we go. So we'll go ahead and open up.
You know why? Because that might be a group chat. Because Chris just posted something in a previous group chat, and I responded to him.
Well, now for some reason,
he says it's fixed. So I
I'm
guess
hearing
we're
all this.
live on Ground Zero now. So
I'm hearing messages now. I never heard them before.
Oh, well, I don't know what to tell you about that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Something changed.
Because it was a previous group chat that he messaged in. So it's him, me, you, Epic, whatever.
Oh, that's why I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that makes sense. Are you there?
Yeah, I am here, and we have another caller.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I heard a noise.
Yeah, that ding.
Right on. All right.
I think it's Robin.
Hello. You're on the air.
Hey guys, it's
What's up?
Cac.
Hey,
it's Cac.
right on. What's up, Cac? Glad to hear from you, man.
Hey, my friend.
Bring some fucking sanity to this situation. This shit's gotten out of control.
I'm just chilling, man. Chilling like a
Chilluminati.
yeah, sliding back 33 degrees.
Sweet.
I posted in the pregame chat a little clip honoring Jim Ladd, who I believe you're a big fan of. I was a big fan of his and his freeform radio, and how he used to do all these Doors and Led Zeppelin interludes and Pink Floyd and American Prayer. Jim Ladd was just oh man, he was just so great.
Yeah.
And just want to shout out. This would have been, I think, his like 77th birthday, 78th birthday. But rest in peace, Jim. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for what you do, Rio and Jimmy and the chat, the chillers and the Chilluminattis.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's all I got. Yeah.
So what's going on? What else is going on? Are you down in Southern California?
I'm in Central Coast in Morro Bay, and everything. I feel like I live in a bubble because the world's going crazy all around me, and it's just the same old Morro Bay.
It's crickets. It's crickets in Morro Bay, right? I mean, there's no birds flying around. Having the birds.
Well, Morro Bay is literally a bird sanctuary, and they have the peregrine falcon that nests up atop the Morro Bay rock, and only a couple tribes, Chumash band, are allowed to go up and climb the rock and do whatever they do up there as their practice, indigenous practice. And so it's an interesting place. As a matter of fact, there was like a big convention of bird watchers today. So they flock from all over, and
Alfred,
they turn out for that.
You know, Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds, was filmed in Morro Bay, right?
I believe so. Either Morro Bay or Bodega Bay, one of the bays.
Yeah,
but
it was up there.
I look. Yeah.
Man, you ever had a seagull?
I look at the birds.
You ever had a seagull fly? Have you ever had a seagull fly straight at you, and look you in the eye as it's flying straight at your face?
Jimmy, it's like the moment of truth, and it happens all the time because, you know, we got some bird feeders around here, and if you ain't one of the bird feeders, then they figure you're like one of the bird eaters, and they come at you, and it's a moment of truth.
Well, yeah, especially in the spring when they have the babies, and you get anywhere near.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean I've had them flying at me, and you could see their beady little eyes. You know how their eyes are on the side of their heads. Well, you could see their eyeballs just looking at you. Yeah. I don't know, man. You better watch out.
No, it's a trip. Yeah, you don't want to mess with mama near the nest. And you know, sometimes I go to the park and throw the frisbees around, and they're up there, man. They're up there, the red-tailed hawks, and there's some eagles up around here too. So and turkey vultures.
Well,
oh my God!
Do you remember? Do you remember the movie The Birds? And all of a sudden, the birds are they're just flying around and they're killing people. They're pecking their eyes out and shit. And so all the people, all these people group up in this cafe, and they're all in there and they're sitting in there and talking about it. And all of a sudden, they see this dude coming up to the gas pump, and he's pumping gas. And they're inside, but they don't want to come outside because they don't want the birds to peck their eyes out. So they're inside and they're all yelling. Right. They're all yelling at the dude, and he's putting gas in, and he's lighting up a cigarette. You know, that's he's putting the gas in. He's leaning up against the back of his car. He lights up the cigarette, and all the people in the restaurant are screaming at him, "Dude, watch out! The birds, watch out!" He's just standing there. All of a sudden, these birds come up and start taking him out, and he drops the cigarette onto the gas pump. The gas is guzzling all over the ground. He drops the cigarette, and the whole place blows up.
That's beautiful.
Was that that was a Hitchcockian moment?
Yep.
Especially,
Hitchcock karma moment.
Well, it was just
karma.
It was the whole, like, the way shit used to be, man. People used to just lean up against the back of their car and have a smoke while they're putting gas in. It must have been before they put the signs up. Before they put the signs up that said "flammable, no smoking." People were just sitting there fucking lighting cigarettes.
It's the Darwin Awards, but yeah, man, that was some good stuff.
It was. All right, listen.
Let's see what else.
Here, guess what?
Yes, sir.
I got something for you right here. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear it. Tom Petty wrote this about Jim Ladd.
Well, you can't turn him into a company man. You can't turn him into a whore. And the boys upstairs just don't understand anymore. Well, the top brass don't like him talking so much. And he won't.
Hey, Rock and Rio, birds aren't real, huh?
And he don't want to change what don't need to change. And there goes the last DJ who plays what he wants to play and says what he wants to say. Hey, hey, hey. And there goes your freedom of choice. There goes the last human voice. And there goes the last DJ.
There he goes.
That was awesome. You know, Jim Ladd used to talk about some heavy stuff too, like the stuff you guys get into. It wasn't just about the music; it was about a vibe. And he had his finger on the pulse, you know, of a generation, but also of history as well.
Yeah, he did.
And he did really, he called people out, you know, to be active about, you know, what's going on out there, you know, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it, but what you can do is go do that, you know. And I think in his own way, he was activist and he had a lot of leadership there. And there you go.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you know, that's the way FM radio used to be. You used to be able to, when you tuned into FM, that was where they said all the shit they couldn't say on AM. You know, and they played all the songs they couldn't play.
Right.
You know. And I guess the internet turned into the new FM radio. But now at this point, what could be possibly be the next thing where people have a voice, you know? Because if you look at the internet at this point, what's happening is the well is being poisoned, you know? And there's so much. If you have access to everything all in one moment, and you're not being spoon-fed some shit, you know what I mean? In other words, society for the most part, for most of society up until recently, we've been spoon-fed some shit. So the only books that got published were the ones that were specifically published for you to consume. You know, the only material you were privy to was the shit that was doled out in front of you. Because, you know, when there was just TV, there was no internet. People weren't researching shit. Like, if you're going to research some shit, you'd have to get in your fucking car, okay, put some gas in it, drive over to the library and check books out. Or you'd have to go to bookstores, or you'd have to go and look at microfiche. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. Or you had to go to like the Powell Library at UCLA because your college didn't have it, and so you got to get in line with those guys and you know, elbow in and hunker down and see if you can get that book that's been checked out for semesters. Kind of like what Bruce was saying, right? I think Bruce was saying that you had to if you're at the university, you had to make sure you got your books checked out so you can do your papers on time. And now it's just like, but like to your point, Jim, it's a narrow bandwidth of what they let you get. You know what I mean? And I was kind of looking up this thing. I was writing about the cognitive capitalism, right? And kind of tied in with cognitive liberty and stuff like that. I mean, it's probably, you know, it's the other side of that coin, you know. It's the cognitive FEMA camp. You know. So that exactly like what you said, we're being spoon fed and led by the nose.
Well, see, that's the thing is there used to be a gatekeeper and a controller. And now the floodgates are open. And so when you have access to all this different material out here, eventually there becomes a saturation point where people are fucking oversaturated, you know, and it causes, you know, apathy and lethargic behavior, you know, because the thing is, look at if everybody could be Spielberg, if there was 1 million movies coming out every fucking day, everybody that had an idea, a story to make a movie out of it, if you could just make a movie out of some shit, just like you can right now go over and make some music over on AI or whatever, you just go make some music. You're not a musician, you know, but all of a sudden you got music, you know. Hey, this is my song, you know.
It's part of the demoralization project.
Well,
you know?
So there was at first there was people like we were talking about that would go around and do research. And so you would listen to those people because they were the ones that were researched, you know. they went out and did the legwork, and then they were coming back and they were reporting some shit to you. You know, and there wasn't a lot of these people. There's only so many of them. You know, and but now but now everybody can just do a search on Google, and they call that research, and then everybody's on here. So so the thing is it's like an overload. In other words, they knew they couldn't stop it from happening, you know. They knew that the cat was out of the bag and information was flowing across the internet. So instead of trying to stop it, they added to it, and the first thing that happened was the well got poisoned. You know, people were made to look a fool with information that was false or that never happened, or was just the whole thing was fucking made up. You know what I mean? And then then they flooded the well with muddy water. And now there's the added synthetic aspect to it, added with the bots and the chats that happen with the people that don't exist. So this whole thing is like an overflow. And at this point, do you think people are? You know what, man? This is Universe 25. It literally is. It's the extinction generation, dude.
Yeah. It's the demon seed. It's welcome to the machine.
The thing is,
those things, man.
Where do we go? Here's the problem. Where do we fucking go from here? Okay, here's the thing.
Well,
everybody, hang on.
Universe 25, we die.
Well, right. Because the question is, where do we go from here? In other words, if you look across the plane, you see governments, you see countries, you see leaders, you see people making decisions, and all those decisions are happening. And meanwhile, the population of the earth is sitting here waiting for those people to make those decisions, and things are in motion. Okay? Where is the body that supersedes that? That is the voice of reason that could come in and make everything all right and solve all the major problems of humanity. In other words, there should be a point of evolution beyond what there has been in the past. In other words, the solutions from the past have not worked. Humanity is still where it is. We're still on the brink of destruction. People are still starving. There's still wrongs going on. You know what I mean? Problems are not being solved, and there's no body of people whose decisions being made is ever going to govern every single person on Earth.
Right. Yeah. That's a great point. And I don't know if you ever heard of Dean Henderson, but he has a lot of, he's written a lot of books. He's a really cool guy. I think he's excellent on his worldview. But he says basically we went from hunter-gatherers to sedentary agriculturalists. And then from there, it just got worse and worse and worse until we lost connection with, our essence, our connection with the planet, with the earth, with the rhythms, with the harmonies. We lost our humanity, And so how do we get back, And one of his ideas is, he's got this little book called Stick It to the Matrix, which is really interesting. Basically just get out there and hump it for a while and get a little piece of land and just do your own thing and get off the grid. And he said, go get the royals, man. It's all the the royals from across the pond there that are doing it, and he talks a little bit about the lizard people too, but basically, taking responsibility and not plugging in, and plugging, deplug from the matrix where and when you can. And, you still got to stay tuned to, see what's going on, but you also have to be discerning as well. And, God, what's another thing? Yeah. Another point is like, you don't have to get everybody to, do stuff to make shit happen. It starts with, a few people, and, some guy made Kevin Annett, he made like a great point today on another podcast, but he said that, the Revolutionary War wasn't done by all the people in the colonies. It was only done like maybe by 20% of them, but it was enough to galvanize the rest of them and say, hey, wait, these guys are right. Let's go. Let's do this, So, yeah, we just got to keep the flame going and when we get a little bit of momentum, just, light that fire, man.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, something's got to happen in order for things to change because, the current situation is totally corrupt. And that's what I mean. I mean, who is there among us who can point fingers? You know what I mean? There's no.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a difficult situation because someone needs to be over the top of all of this shit that's going on, and there isn't anybody. Well, and the people that are over the top of it are not, out for your best interest, or the best. It seemed to me that the object of, we were moving in a positive direction to where things were getting better for everybody across the board. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be, I hate to use the word, but it's a word that used to get used a lot with Agenda 21. It was a thing called harmonization, where they were going to harmonize all the countries of the world. So you didn't have to migrate. You could stay where you are and have all the same shit as everybody else has everywhere else. But it was going to be a limited amount of shit, But still, it would be this. It would be like the standard of living across the board for everybody. There would be no third world countries. This kind of thing.
Yeah, and the UBI, Universal Basic Income, 15-minute cities, and
But even that is not even the vision of a utopia. That's somebody's vision about the future. I mean, what's interesting about that too? Have you ever? We did a show about these, the Epcot Center and Disneyland. And if you look at this Disneyland idea of the city of the future, it's basically a 15-minute city.
The original, yeah.
If you look at it.
Yeah, master plan community.
Yeah. It's just, there's deeper.
There's that transhumanist agenda thing going on too, where, it's like, gotta, get it down to about 500,000 people.
Yeah.
The Georgia Guidestones and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to chill right now. But anyway, there it is. I mean, in your face. And shit, I don't know what to say, man. Yeah. But Disney had a plan, and Irvine Company out there, George Bren, all those guys. I mean, tech bros and land barons. That's all part of that plan. And they're beta testing it in where in England, Salford and those places. And shit. And like I say, I feel like in Morro Bay, I'm living in a bubble because it's gorgeous, and there's not a lot of crime that I can see.
Yeah,
I'm not getting beat up by the cops yet. I mean, but still, I know there's a lot of suffering going on, in the big cities, and different countries in the world are under attack, literally under attack. Minneapolis, this crap is going on. It's not cool at all, genocide and Pantera
That's
and all
what I
that
mean.
stuff. So
That's
you
what
know.
I mean. It's like society is a bad puppy that gets its nose rubbed in shit. It's like, why are we having why are the things that are an issue an issue? In other words, the biggest problem is the fact that people aren't all together. That they're separated and divided by these different things, and it's been even divided even more. Like, it used to be one thing, but now there's different sects of the one thing. So it used to be, it used to be,
there's
it
more
used to be
division.
that you were,
and
it
it's
used to
not
be
just
gay.
trying to make a living and playing politics at work.
I'm
You
just
got
saying.
all this other stuff to worry about. You better not say the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong time, because you're not only going to lose your job, you might go have to do some time about it too, and then your family is without its
It's good to be king.
provider or whatever. I mean,
It's good to be king of your own little world. Everybody. I don't know. There has to be some sort of a common ground that we're all on. Because each individual has their own perception and perspective of what's going on. And so, you can't make me call a dog a cat when I know it's a dog. And then make me wrong
right.
for calling it a cat.
Yeah.
It's the top of the hour, CAC. You're welcome to hang back. Sergeant Miller.
I'm gonna kick back.
I see
Get
Sergeant.
on the slack here. Yeah. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, I see Sergeant Miller's out there. If you want to give us a call, Sergeant Miller. All right, CAC. Glad you're there. Glad you're back.
Good to be back.
And it's hard to say who you are these days, but you run on anyway, don't you, baby? You keep running for another place to find that saving grace. I'm moving on alone over ground that no one owns, past statues that atone for my sins. There's a guard on every door and a drink on every floor, overflowing with 1,000 amens. And it's hard to say who you are these days, but you run on anyway, don't you, baby? You keep running for another place. It's good to be king, just for a while. To be there in velvet, yeah, to give them a smile. It's good to get high and never come down. It's good to be king of your own little town. Yeah, the world would swing. Oh, if I were king. Can I help it if I still dream time to time? It's good to be king and have your own way. Get a feeling of peace at the end of the day. When your bulldog barks and your canary sings, you're out there with winners. It's good to be
When your bulldog barks and your canary sings. Rock and real. The world would swing. Are that rock and real?
I am here.
I heard your reverse coming through, piping through.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so what's going on?
Oh, I was trying to catch up a little bit there because I can't prep stuff when I have a phone call going. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You don't hear it now, though, right?
No.
Okay.
No. Here we are. It's Ground Zero Plus. Saturday night Chilluminatti. Shh. Don't tell nobody. And turn it off.
Turn what off?
Whatever it is. No, I
Don't
don't
tell
know.
nobody.
Yeah. Shh. We're the only show that don't want you to tell nobody.
That's right.
We stand at the underground. Over here on Ground Zero Plus, Saturday night. 718-618-9905 is the number to call if you want to get a hold of us.
Does Sarge want to come on?
I'm not sure.
Oh, Sarge, if you want to come on, I can add you directly.
Mm-hmm.
It would be better that way.
Yeah, it's good to be king
That's right.
of your own little world. To be there in velvet. Give them a swirl. I don't know what the lyric is for that.
I don't know.
Who the fuck knows? All I know is, I mean, ultimately, when you look at it, could you say to yourself that the Beatles were just a creation of the Tavistock Institute?
Oh, they
And
definitely
then
were.
all the songs were already pre-programmed, and they were just the fucking guys that were doing it. But then subsequently, when they broke up, and they weren't the Beatles anymore, and they were themselves, that was them doing their thing. Just like the Grateful Dead. We know the Grateful Dead was an operation until it wasn't. And then when it wasn't, they were just fucking musicians at that point. You know what I mean? They weren't doing what they were doing before, but they were just still going to go ahead and play guitar and, make music.
They were still, even though they were off all individually, with they're doing their own thing, they were still the Beatles, right? So,
Well, that's what I mean.
and they still had that connection back to Tavistock and all the other things that they were still doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that you were chosen for this operation, the 60s or whatever, it's Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, all these people, all these different military affiliated people, you're all chosen to, and at one point you were working for the company.
Yeah.
Right? But at the point that you were no longer working for the company in a psychological operation that you were a part of, you were still a musician. So you kept playing music, but at that point you were no longer mind controlling people. And so what the point I was trying to make is they may have been a total Tavistock creation from the get-go. But then later, when they weren't in the band anymore and they were broken up, now they were by themselves. And that's where you focused your attention on this. You're focusing on their solo material and solo careers, right?
Yeah. Well,
I'm asking you, are you focusing on that? You're not focusing on the Beatles. You're focusing on the Beatles post-Beatles.
right. I'm not focusing on the Beatles themselves. I'm focusing on the 4 individuals who were previously the Beatles.
There you go. Exactamundo. Now that's interesting, because most people, they're going to go straight to the Beatles and start doing reverse speech, on the music. But
Well, and there's plenty of it. I mean, all the way right from the beginning. Hard Day's Night and that kind of stuff. There was stuff in there too. It was at that point it was still a little bit more benign because the gentlemen in the band were still a little bit more benign. But by the time you got up to the White Album and Sergeant Pepper, and the acid trips had already started and that kind of thing. They really started going into it. And then of course there's plenty of Paul is Dead material in the later albums. And even post Beatles, there's some Paul is Dead material going on. I mean, I do have that one clip. I didn't bust it out for tonight, but with that crappy song Gratitude that Paul McCartney, the current Paul McCartney, sings. The reverse says he was Willie Campbell. And it's a song about the gratitude that he's showing for allowing him to be in that position, right? That's the forward song, and then the end of the reverse says I was Willie Campbell.
Huh.
So, Billy Shears, Willie Campbell, whichever name, Billy Pepper, whichever name you want to give him, that's who he was. So,
well, shoot, man, I don't know. Are you feeling like you're ready to get into it right now?
well, yeah, we could get into it.
All right.
I don't have so much of Paul tonight, but I do have a little bit. But I have George, Ringo, and John all ready to go. Let's see. So let's see. Let's start with John, I guess, because he's the the poster child for the Beatles.
Yeah.
The big celebrity, right? Up against Paul McCartney as to being who's the most famous.
So John is the most famous, huh?
Well, I would think so. Well, I mean, I don't know the legacy of Paul McCartney has outlived John Lennon, but
Well, who do you think who was the most famous monkey?
Michael Nesmith, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Michael Nesmith out of the Monkees when I was a small boy. I gravitated towards the Nesmith character. But see, I was never, as far as the Beatles were concerned, I was always a Paul person.
See, I was always a George guy.
Were you?
Yeah, I was always, he's the silent type that kind of held everything together. The Paul and George, who's the boss controversy and all that nonsense. I never really got into it. I mean, they were good songwriters too, but
well, now
I kind of appreciated Harrison more because even when he was with the Beatles, like I thought the songs he wrote were solid, and his music lines were solid, and he never tried to overshadow them. He just did his thing, and in a way, did it better than they did.
Well, the thing is, let me ask you a question. How much? I mean, there really was no. Was there any difference between the Monkees and the Beatles? Really? I mean, have you ever
the
done?
Monkees were assembled as a bunch of TV show characters that actually became a band. The Beatles were a band that ended up doing movies and television. So I guess in that respect, they're different, right? Because the Monkees were assembled for television. They weren't a real band when the TV show started. Just like the Partridge Family, but Cassidy was out there doing it for real.
Yeah, but why is it? Why would you consider it to be different? In other words, you gotta suspend your disbelief to think that the Beatles are any different than the Monkees.
As far as being like a psychological operation that was assembled, no,
yeah.
they both definitely fall into that category.
That's what I mean, because it could be like, hey Bob, I need a 4-piece with some good vocals, good singers, and they just put it together, they just make it happen.
Well, I do believe that the Beatles themselves actually did get started organically, in the early days when they still had Stuart Sutcliffe and, they were doing the tours in that respect. Like, and even before Ringo, with the other drummers that they had. I think obviously there was a certain point, which was after they did the Germany tours, when they started actually gaining popularity organically, that they got picked up and hooked up, as it were.
The Monkees.
The Monkees, yeah, the Monkees were. I don't even know if they could all play instruments when they were hired for television. I think they were like taught while they were on the air.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. All right, so we're gonna get to the real Beatles. Not the Monkees.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So
go ahead.
Let's start with John Lennon. And part of it, obviously, they all have the experience with the reversal stuff that was going on in the Beatles itself, and they all knew the techniques and that kind of thing. But they were all also there was a lot of shall we say occult things going on in the Beatles during those days too, and John Lennon carried on. Obviously, he was an atheist. He was a socialist. He was, had all those things going on in the 70s and 80s. Some of this stuff comes out, and this particular song actually does have a Paul is Dead reference in it. But it also has his satanic agenda in it, both quite clearly. So start toward the back of the song here, and the song is Mind Games. Sure, everybody knows that one. It's been fairly popular. So it says, "Who hears the vultures? He's dead and it haunts us." This is the Paul is Dead reference. He's dead and it haunts us. He says, "I live with it now, a crime of delusion, forever miss him. Who is there? Who's the magus?" So let's. I don't want to play too much forward because I don't know how testy they are. I know they're very testy about Beatles music, but I don't know how testy they are about the individual's music. So here's this. Right, they're searching for the Grail. Is who hears the vultures? Who hears the vultures? He's dead and it haunts us. I live with it now, crime of delusion. Okay, the now is kind of drawn out. And then it says, forever miss him. It says, who is there? Who's the magus? And then it says, this is another interesting line here. It says, while they role play, now I'm the one who is the value, right? Because there was always that thing between Paul and John as to who's the master, and they kind of agreed to split everything, the songwriting credits at least equally when they were in the Beatles. But he's talking about Paul being dead and how he misses him. And he says, who is there? Who's the magus, right? Who's the magician? Who's the man behind the curtain? He says, now while they role play, I would assume referring to Billy Campbell, now I'm the one who is the value. They'll not see it because you have my fake mustache. So here's while they role play, now I'm the one who is the value. Right, now I'm the one who is the value.
Damn.
They'll not see it because you have my mustache. So that was the era when they all donned the mustaches, right? Was
Yeah.
part of it was to disguise that the guy wasn't the same guy. So that's pretty interesting, and that is all one solid clip from
That's
start to finish.
crazy, man.
Right? And if you think of the context of the song, right? Maybe you even want to pull up the lyrics on this, Jimmy, because the when you pay attention to the song, right? They're playing mind games forever, right? And he's talking about what they did, right? They were playing mind games, and the song in reverse is about covering up that they were playing the mind game of who's the real Paul McCartney at the time. And Mind Games was, I think it was shortly after the Beatles broke up it was 73 or somewhere around there. But it makes sense. It makes sense, and he's talking forward about them playing those mind games forever and searching for that holy grail and all those lines, they all add up if you listen to them in an alternative sense, not in the context of the forward song, because there's always a double entendre in these songs of what it means. It makes complete sense. So I'm going to go to the next section here, where he's talking a little bit more about his dealings with the devil, and he's pretty blunt about it. It says, "I'm a man, and he is Satan. I have a mission. I make music now. I'm the one who he has bought." And then he says, a little later on, he says, "Worship the devil with me. I'm the one, Lord, who can save me. I live a lie like he's still living." So I'll go through this now.
Damn, this is almost turning into a Paul is dead. Sure.
Well, yeah, but this part is beyond the Paul is dead. This is the deal with the devil right here. So it says, "I'm a man, he is Satan. I have a mission." Right? I'm a man. He is Satan. I have a mission. I make music. Now I'm the one who he has bought. So, the devil bought his music with his soul, right? So now let me skip over a little bit here. And then this one says, this is the one that says, "I'm the one, Lord, who can save me. I live a lie like he's still living." Let me do that slower. Right? I'm the one, Lord, who can save me. I live a lie like he's still living. So, yeah, John Lennon still has the deal with the devil going, and he's living a lie.
He's talking about mind gorillas in the lyrics to this song.
Yeah.
Millions of mind gorillas putting their soul power to the karmic wheel. Keep on playing those mind games forever. Huh.
There's a line in there about the Druids too. And that's where the line about the Magus is. It's right in that same little spot.
Yeah, I don't see the Druids lyrics in here. I was looking for them last week, and I found some other song by some other person.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I was reading the thing because I thought it was what it was, but it wasn't what I thought it was.
Yeah. Let me see. Maybe I've got him here.
This might not have all the lyrics in there, but I don't know why it wouldn't. I heard that too last week, as a matter of fact, because at the point that I heard it, I thought to myself, I never really paid attention to this song before. The only part of this song I ever heard was the chorus, because when it was on, I wasn't sitting there intently listening to the story being told on the lyrics. You know what I mean?
I think I got this same version with this Mind Gorilla. I don't know if that's actually right.
You think it's
I think that's like
something's
wrong.
been changed, man. It's Mandela effect.
Oh, could be. Let me find a different version of these lyrics.
Oh,
No,
here,
it's just-
some kind of druid dude lifting
Yep.
the veil,
There's some kind of druid dude lifting the veil. That's
doing the mind gorilla. Some call it magic, the search for the grail.
right, and that is the part that I just played backwards, where he's going through the whole "he is dead and it haunts us" part.
Some kind of druid dude lifting the veil, doing
Yes.
the mind gorilla.
So who is the druid dude lifting the veil? Right, that's where he says the line about the magus. Right, the druid dude is the magus, and who, he's referring, I believe, to Willie Campbell at that point. And it's they've been playing these mind games to some call it magic, some the search for the grail, right, the holy grail of the musical journey that they were on. So keep playing those mind games together. Faith in the future out of the now. You can't just beat those mind gorillas. Absolute everywhere in the stones of your mind. So we're playing those mind games forever, projecting our images in space and time.
When he's talking about mind gorillas, do you think he's meaning that gorilla in the sense of like guerrilla warfare, but now it's in
I'm sure he's using
a guerrilla operation warfare, but it's mind gorillas.
Yeah, well,
Like
that's
mind
that's
control.
how he spells it too. Apparently, is the gorilla as the
Warfare.
Yeah, it's Guerilla, not GOR.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So it's not the animal; it is
No.
the combat.
That's what I'm saying. He was back then. They were already in people's minds, literally.
Well, yeah,
He was- and he
projecting our
knew it.
images in space and time. It says yes is the answer, and you know that for sure. Yes is surrender. You gotta let it go.
See?
So keep on playing those mind games, doing the ritual dance in the sun, putting their soul power to the karmic wheel.
Exactly.
So that's very Beatle-esque, even though it's post Beatles, but it's also like, because it's a reference to the whole Paul is dead situation. Yes is the answer. You know that for sure, right? You got to let it go.
Man, he knew back then.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying, as far as the mind control stuff was going,
yeah.
they knew about it,
Back then,
but they had to shut up, man. They didn't have non-disclosures. They just went, "Look, dude, you better
Look, dude, you
fucking
don't talk
shut
about
up,
this."
or I'm gonna shoot your ass."
Yeah, and part of the when he got shot too, there's a lot of speculation that Yoko was affiliated with the company.
Yeah, just like the president's analyst.
Right.
When when the
That
dude
he
realized,
he was the first one who was actually going to give up the beans on the whole Paul situation, and that was one of the reasons that he got taken out. And I believe George Harrison postured that in his memoirs that shortly before he died as well.
swallowing the pill that the whole thing has been a facade the whole time is a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, man.
Yeah, well,
But, it's
I
clearly-
know people who love the current Paul McCartney, and he's a talented guy. I can't deny that, right? He's made tons of hit records since then. He is a very good musician. He's just not Paul McCartney. Yeah, that's all there is. He's just a guy with that name
Here,
playing that part.
take a listen to this.
He's an
That great music that has enhanced your lives throughout the years. Real fucking high on drugs, okay? It's true. The Beatles were so high, they let Ringo sing a couple. That great music that has enhanced your lives throughout the years. Real fucking high on drugs.
They let Ringo sing a couple songs.
Yeah.
That's what Bill Hicks was saying.
Ringo really wasn't bad once he went solo.
You know what? The thing about Ringo is he ended up being the fucking sane one in the end.
Yeah,
Which
he
was
still
funny
is.
'cause he was
he's
like-
smooth, he's logical, right?
He was like, but in the context of the band, the character that he played was not who he actually was as a person. So you can see he was a little different when he came out as himself. You know what I mean? Because wasn't he the silly, dopey fucking guy on there? You know, the guys like John and Paul were the team. And
Right.
Ringo was over there all silly and goofy. You know what I mean? He's just like a happy guy over there. Didn't do much, just sat there. You know what I mean? But then when he came out of there, he was there. He was actually the sane one. In the end. Did he go to India and start meditating and shit when everybody else did, or did he just kind of hang back?
I think they all. Well, I know Harrison definitely went to India. I'm not sure if Ringo did or not.
No,
Because Ringo's got his own spirituality, but I don't think he got into the same stuff that Harrison did.
yeah, he went a different direction.
These guys, a couple people in the chat don't really seem to know the whole story here. So Paul McCartney, the real Paul McCartney, the original one, he died in I believe 1964, and there's
Allegedly.
dispute about whether it was a car crash or he got beaten to death. But that's why Paul was the walrus, because he was so bloodied and bruised up. Like the walrus is a term that they use for boxers who get their faces beat in the boxing ring. So Billy Shears was also a musician at the time who looked a lot like Paul, but he had a band called Billy and the Pepper Pots originally, and made his debut on Sgt. Pepper's album, where, let me introduce to you Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So Billy Pepperpot, who was Billy Shears, was his stage name, who is really Willie Campbell, right, was the Sgt. Pepper.
The Beatles were so high, they let Ringo sing a couple. That great music that has enhanced your lives throughout.
Sorry about that. I stepped on my keyboard. Go ahead.
Okay, I was like, yeah. So that's kind of the short version of the Paul is Dead story and who Billy Shears is. Billy Shears is William Campbell. He went by Billy Shears with the Beatles as Sgt. Pepper, and then he was Billy in the Pepper Pots before that, right? So that's where the Sgt. Pepper came from, and then he became Paul McCartney, and even the real Paul McCartney's girlfriend, hated him and was told to keep her mouth shut, and there's a whole lot of other stuff surrounding it, like the kid that they had was genetically not the current Paul's. There was a whole court suit about that, but the whacked or just an accident is something that most people don't really know for sure. It could be either or. The whole thing with the car crash is a big part of the story, but you never really know for sure what the true story is. But that's what the whole walrus thing that John kept referring to is all about. And and a lot of those later Beatle albums had tons of Paul is Dead stuff too. But this is years after, and it still haunts him. So I've seen enough evidence and talked to enough people, and I've known people who worked with the Beatles and the real Paul McCartney from my music industry days. And I've had it confirmed by people who personally knew the Beatles that it wasn't the real Paul that's still out there. So I'm pretty positive that Paul is dead. So let's see. Let's get into George Harrison. Now, this kind of shocked me about George Harrison, and I never really pictured him as how do I put this politely, a butt pirate. But this song kind of lets it out. And this song does have some adult content in it. For those of you who have fragile ears, I will try to keep it as painless as possible. But everybody knows this one. Set on You. It was Harrison's big hit.
I'm back. I had to step off and get some coffee.
Okay, I'm just starting to move into George Harrison now, and the surprises I found, and I did give the this is an adult content warning right up front. So the song is fairly repetitive. Most of it seems like loops, but actually the lines are all slightly different, and he does use the different inflections to get it to say different things. So I'm going to actually start at the back of the song, and I'll play a little bit of the forward, and then I'll, obviously would do the back. All right, so that's the ending chorus where him and Jeff Lynne are singing, and they have the vocal harmonies of whoever else was singing in the background. So when you play that part, that little section there backwards, it says, "We want ass, we want ass." Right? Okay, so, and then, so that is a common thing throughout the song. And there's a different section here where this is closer to the front of the song, where it goes through. He says it like 4 different times, and each one, because of the way he phrases it and inflects it, is slightly different. So the first one you'll hear says, "Bring that ass, now I'm a beggar." Then it says, "Re my ass, now I'm a faggot. We want ass, now I'm a maggot. Re my ass, now I'm a faggot." And, it's very clear. Like, there's no question about what he's saying here.
Well, listen. That's intense. Now, that's all in one.
Well, it's where he goes, "I got my mind set on you. My mind is set on you." I got my, it's the back and forth that goes there. You'll recognize it even in reverse, what part of the song that is. And like I said, it's all very clear.
Well, right now we're sandwiched in between InfoWars and Richard C. Hoagland. And every week we're number 9, and Richard C. Hoagland comes on there. And then he slowly creeps up on us. And now he's creeping up on us. So watch out, man. Keep it interesting. Otherwise, Richard C. Hoagland's going to overtake us. Bump us.
Well, yeah, I'm going to definitely keep this interesting.
All right. Let's hear the... I know lots of people are interested in ass. So
yeah. It says, okay, so it says, "Bring that ass, now I'm a beggar. Ream my ass, now I'm a faggot. We want ass, now I'm a maggot." And then he goes back to the "ream my ass" line. So here you go.
now, mama. Reverse now, mama.
I can definitely hear that now.
Yeah.
But I got to say, it's really, there's a lot of treble, there's a lot of high end, and there's a lot of noise. So it's like there's a big white noise thing going
Okay.
over the top of
There shouldn't
everything.
be, but that's so there is a clear one. I don't know if I clipped it. Yes, I did. All right, where it's just the vocal here. This will sound a little clearer. Right? Ream my ass, because now I'm a faggot. Ream my ass.
Set on you. I got my mind set on you. Reverse now, mama.
So that's that's the chorus of this song. And now you think about what he's saying forwards, right? I got my mind set on you, but it's going to take money. It's going to take time, a whole lot of precious time, patience and time to do it right, child, to do it right.
Oh,
What's he going to do right? He's going to, he's going to do that butt the right way. That's what he's doing.
Somebody's saying traveling Wilburys. Now, let me ask you this. Now, are all the reversals that you did tonight, are these all music related, or are there any interviews?
No, this is all music related.
Okay.
This is definitely music related.
I think we should do once a month is we should do one of these, some of these musicians and do interviews where you do them in reverse,
Well,
where it's not actually music.
We could continue on the Beatles' journey by doing the interviews, because there is stuff in those interviews that's
there's a whole thing where there's an interview and Paul starts getting real sarcastic about people asking the questions.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, even that Letterman clip where he was asked about if he was the fake guy, and he goes, "Yeah, well, this is him."
That's what I mean.
That actually has backward from both Dave Letterman and Paul McCartney in it.
No.
Really? Yeah, it does. It does. I'd have to I don't know if I have that one readily available, but I could get that for next week if we want to continue on the Beatles' journey.
They came out and announced the world's wealthiest performer happens to be a rock star. Any idea who it is? Paul McCartney. Yeah, they announced Paul McCartney makes an estimated $10 million a month. Kind of puts our lives in perspective, doesn't it? It's a big world out there. I'm watching that with all the guys, and we're sitting there going, 10 million a month. God damn, God. This one guy goes, yeah, but taxes eat that up. All right, say they take 9 million a month away from Paul. You think this guy's scrambling for rent? Ringo, you've got to help me, baby.
I got news for you. They say rock and roll is the devil's music. Let's say that rock and roll is the devil's music, and we know it for a fact to be true. At least he jams. I mean, if it's a choice between Eternal Hell and Good Tunes or Eternal Heaven and New Kids on the Block, I'm going to be surfing on the Lake of Fire, rocking out.
There he goes, Bill Hicks. He's surfing on the Lake of Fire, rocking out.
He was a great comedian.
He was. Did you ever see this? The last bit routine he did with the trench coat and the bathtub.
Oh, I'm sure I've seen like tons of his stuff.
There he goes, Bill Hicks.
So he brought up the devil's music, surfing with the devil. So this song also has a great line about the devil and about drugs too. So let's get into the devil part, because that comes first. It says, "Now I share delusions. The devil below, he gets the mood set. They love me, and it's in the law. I'm gonna guess the law stood up. So that's this is one continuous section, one big chunk. I'll try to pause it after each line, but it says, "Now I share delusions, the devil below." Right, gets the mood set. Here we go.
Damn, thanks.
Right, there's the devil below, gets the mood set.
It's gonna take plenty of money.
It's gonna take plenty of money. Yes, they love me, and it's in the law. Right, they love me, and it's in the law. Yeah, I'm gonna guess the law stood up. So, there his deal with the devil.
Amber says George had a song called The Devil's Radio.
Yeah, he did, actually. George Harrison was interesting because he got into that whole transcendental meditation thing and whatever. And he came across as, My Sweet Lord, right? That's one of his famous songs, where he did the whole gamut of religions in that song. But, he followed, it wasn't Hinduism, but it was something similar to Hinduism.
Sikhism. He was a Sikh.
It was some form of, that involved yoga and transcendental meditation. It might have been Zoroastrianism, something like that.
Yeah.
One of those types of religion. I'm not too up on that vein of religions, but
yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah. So the next line here says, "Yeah, who's gonna bring me marijuana? It's loose now. Have a pull if you wanna. Relief, badass new leaf, relieves the one-eyed sinner." So I don't know if the one-eyed sinner is referring to his rectum because of the rest of the song, or if the one-eyed sinner is referring to, the one-eye symbolism, Illuminati stuff. You could take that either way, but either way, here we go with "Who's Gonna Bring Me Marijuana? Loose now, have a pull if you wanna." Who's gonna bring the marijuana?
I know if I put my mind to it, I know that I really could do it.
Who's gonna bring the marijuana? Have a pull if you wanna. It says, "Relief, badass, new leaf, relieves the one-eyed sinner."
You think the one-eyed sinner is like the one-eyed trouser trout?
Well, I don't know if it's the one-eyed trouser trout or the hole, the butthole, right? That could be your one eye too. Either one. And like I said, one-eyed sinner could be just an Illuminati one-eyed reference because they all cover the left eye with the thing.
It's on the back of the dollar bill.
Right, the one-eyed sinner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last bit I have of this song is it says, "Passing this to the sheep, who gets the logic? Now it's to serve my law. It gets the Lord sick." So it's it's another dark reference in a way.
Looks like the Epic Journeyman's over there in the chat.
Oh yeah. So here's the passing us to the sheep. Who gets the logic?
Listen to sheep. Yes, the Lord's. It's gonna take patience and time.
It's going to take patience and time.
Listen to sheep. Yes, the Lord's.
Passing this to the sheep. Who gets the logic? Now it's to serve my law. Right? To serve my law. And then he says it gets the Lord sick. Right.
He says
So-
he's just listening. He's kicking back 33 degrees.
He's kicking back 33 degrees. What's he say? There's a really strong case to be made for Jeff Lynne being... Jeff Lynne is also on this song, and he was also in the Traveling Wilburys with Harrison at the end of time there. But there you go. Homosexuality, blasphemy, deal with the devil, and drug use all in one song. And it's a very simple song, but every one of these references is very clear in this song. So.
Did we miss a verse or something? No, we did. Sorry. Can we drop in?
Rock and Rio. Let's drop in.
The ball. Everybody's talking, no one says a word. Everybody's making love, no one really cares. There's matches in the bathroom, just below the stairs. Always something happening, and nothing going on. There's always something cooking, and nothing in the pot. They're starting back in China, so finish what you got. Nobody told me there'd be days like these.
2, 3, 4.
Nobody loves you when you're down and out. Nobody sees you when you're on cloud nine. Everybody's hustling for a buck and a dime.
You should organic sharpen this, man.
Which one is that now?
Nobody loves you when you're down. Acoustic version. Because you can hear his voice pretty good.
Yeah. We could get
9
to
is
that.
a lucky number.
Hang on a
2,
second.
3, 4.
I keep fucking stepping on my keyboard.
9, that's a lucky number.
9.
Why is your keyboard on the floor?
Because I'm all jammed into
9,
this.
that's a lucky number.
I'm all jammed into this space.
Well, I know there's gamers actually who use their keyboard as a foot pedal. They have a keyboard on their desk and they have a separate keyboard under their desk that's programmed for like 2 or 3 different actions, and they, depending on where they step on it. I thought maybe you were going that route.
No. No, man. No, man. Okay, here.
I step on the space bar to play the music.
Here, I'm sending this to you right now.
Okay.
Boom. There it is. It's ground zero plus 718-618-9905 is the number to call if you want to give us a call. Let us know what you hear. You hear what's going on here.
Well, if they call, actually, if they call, I can still play the music, but I don't.
You don't know if they could hear it?
They could hear it. I think.
Oh
They
shit!
should be
Man,
able
we
to
only
hear it
got
'cause it
10.
goes through the.
We only got 10 minutes left. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's almost time to GTFO, man.
All right, so let me get to this Ringo Starr quick here. And So Ringo, we got some Ringo. This is a song called "Weight of the World." It was a fairly popular song, I believe, late '80s, early '90s, and it's about it's full of blasphemy and about his deal with the devil. So it says the world was not evil until he released the nasty one. Right, and it says so we could live on it. I want it all, so she wept. But I guess the snakes of God, they wanted you too. And while you are standing here, your eyes are naked. Right? So I would assume that is referencing Eve in the Garden of Eden, right? When the serpent, she tempted her and she ate the fruit and it opened her eyes. Your eyes are naked.
The Mediterranean diet is the world's healthiest diet. In fact,
I wonder if Ringo eats a Mediterranean diet.
Richard C. Hoagland bumped us down to number 10.
Oh, yeah.
He's about to knock Alex Jones out of number 8.
Don't worry about that guy.
Richard C. Hoagland.
All right, so here is, you know what? Actually, let me. I'll play you just a tiny bit of the forward.
You're not going to you're not going to be able to get to that. Nobody loves you when you're down, are you?
Well, I mean, we could go into overtime on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or we could just do it now. I'll do it for next week with the other stuff.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. All right.
All right, so here's the forward Ringo song, just so you guys know it. I'm sure everybody's heard it.
We've all been abused. Now it's time to lose the weight of the world.
It's a very Beatles sounding song, even though it's 20 years later. So the world was not evil until he released the nasty one. Right, so we could live on it. I want it all, so she wept. But I guess the snakes of God, they wanted you too. And while you are standing there, your eyes are naked. And then it says, the world was not able to lock him up. So, talking about the serpent in the garden with Eve, and then a little farther down here, the next part of this, he says, I walk with the devil. Why isn't he guilty? The world was not evil until your baby was. Then there, fake as his son, you're a liar. And, I assume he's talking about the birth of Jesus in this thing. So it says, from mud he didn't make mama, but like mother's eyes, God hears me. Who is the Lord of light, planet of God's David? The beauty of Satan lived. He was the light I needed.
Damn.
So, yeah.
It's like a scripture.
Yeah, well, this is Ringo's reverse here. So, it's quite a little bit blasphemous, I would say. But here's the I walk with the devil. Why isn't he guilty? I walk with the devil. Why isn't he guilty? The world was not evil until your baby was. Then they're fake as his son. You're a liar. It says, from mud he didn't make mama. Right, so back to the story of the Garden of Eden, right? If Adam was made from the dust of the earth and Eve was supposedly made from part of Adam, then Eve wasn't directly made from the mud, right? So from mud he didn't make mama. And it's the story of Cain and Abel, right? Was the son that lied to God about killing his brother. So, that's what that reference, entails. And then it says, like mother's eyes, God hears me. And then he says, who is the Lord of light, planet of gods, David? Right? And he says, the beauty of Satan, he was the light that I needed.
We're out of time.
Yep. So there you go. Ringo's satanic little ditty about the weight of the world.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. Where I stop and I turn and I go for a ride. Till I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah.
All right, Rock and Rio. Wow, man. You really got that. There's a lot in there.
There is, and there's actually a lot more in that song that I didn't do out. I figured that was enough, but at least for tonight. So I guess next week we'll hit the Paul McCartney stuff. I got a couple Wings songs that we could do. I got some, I'll do that one that you sent me, and we'll do some interviews about Paul.
All right, man. That sounds kick. All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
This has been your weekly chill out session with the Chilluminatti. Good night, everybody.